what's the number one challenge that sales professionals have? And that is they can't get to the pain. And what Anthony shared with you is one known principle, technique, sales technique, and that is normalizing. Oh, congratulations, David. Your sale just came in. Good job, buddy. Ding! David made a sale. Yay. So one of the techniques is normalizing. So what do we as human beings, what do we resist, right? We don't want to be judged. Sometimes we don't want to share because we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be looked at badly. We don't want people, I don't know you. Why would I share my pain with you, right? You need to tear those barriers down, and you have a very short period of time to do it. I mean, a lot of those barriers have to come down in the survey. So what's another tech? Normalizing, making them feel okay that this is not unusual. Your pain isn't different than everybody else's. I've heard this before. Dialogue like that. Build narratives into your conversation saying, hey, I hear this all the time. You're just like everybody. I am. I'm just like, wow, I thought I was all on this island of pain by myself, right? You want to get them to open up. You can't get to the solution. Problem, solution, sale. You can't get to the solution unless you find the pain. What's another technique that we use all the time, right? You have to tear down the barrier. How do we tear down the barrier? The easiest way to tear down the barrier is, hey, listen, Nancy, I'm going to use you as a role model. Hey, Nancy, listen, I'm asking you some pretty tough questions. And I just want to assure you one thing. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. All right? I just want to assure you one thing. Pregnant pause. Use that pregnant pause. You don't want to run this sentence into the next statement because they won't hear it. Say, Nancy, I just want to share one thing. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. How do I help? The impact that you'll be able to get out of a statement like that is amazing. People will go, they'll sit back and they'll go, wow. And if that doesn't crack the nut, then you go into normalizing. Say, I'm here to help. Man, I see this all the time. You're like most of my clients. This isn't unique at all. Matter of fact, let me tell you the story. Stories sell. Stories sell. Are you sharing experiences with other people? When you share an experience, so that's another technique, right? You want to bring in third-party validation. You want to bring in a story. Okay, so you use that. You tear it down. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help. That's number one. Number two, normalizing. I hear it all the time. Let me share your story. 3 techniques. Boom, boom, boom. I guarantee you will tear down the barrier. I'm going to say it again. I guarantee you will tear down that barrier. And guys, you got to get to the pain. You will never make a sale unless you identify the pain points and you offer that solution. It'll never happen. It doesn't exist. It's never happened in the history of sales ever. Ever. You need to prove that you are the solution. You're their guide to the freedom land. You're the broker. You're the hope broker. You're going to take them to the solution they've been looking for all this time, whether you're the first person they talk to or the 15th. So bring that story in. Have these little dialogues in your on a piece of paper in front of you, scripted if you have to, but have these stories. And let me tell you a story real quick, Nancy. Before you answer my question, I just want to tell you a story real quick. I had this client about a month ago. His name was Bill. Bill came to a very similar situation with you, having a really tough time. I think I was the 15th person he talked to. And I blah, 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 and I blah, 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 and I blah, blah, blah. Now fast forward, Bill became a client with us, by the way. Did you hear what I just did? Validation. In my story, you validate your product. Oh, Bill became a client, by the way. And through the process of becoming our client, we were able to do quite a few things with his personal credit. He's moved quite a few points upward with his FICO score. And as a result, we're now positioning for blah, 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 blah. So use those 3 things. Use those 3 things. I mean, some people, you're going to get them on the phone. You're going to do the interview. They're an open book. They're just going to puke all over you, right? And let them puke. Don't interrupt. Never, ever, ever interrupt. Matter of fact, here at the office, part of our culture is we have meetings, and everybody knows there's one rule: you never interrupt. Matter of fact, in the middle of a meeting, if somebody interrupts, I have to give them the finger. It's not my middle finger; it's this finger. One person at a time, right? One person speaks at a time. The best thing you can do is get somebody, your future client, Get them to puke. Let them roll, baby. And listen to the pain points. You know you have a pain point if they say the same thing twice differently. You know you have a pain point if they say the same thing twice in a different fashion, right? Like, oh my gosh, I've been to a lot of different places and they haven't approved me because of my credit. And, you know, my credit is really bad and that's what's really holding me back. Bam, you nailed it. Pain point. Red light should go off in your office. You should get a little shock in your chair. Ooh, pain point, right? If they say it twice in different ways, you've got a pain point, right, Aaron?
Absolutely. And and again, you're spot on, is never interrupt when someone is talking about those pain points. And for some of you, right, this can be challenging, because you've been maybe conditioned or taught, not to be what you would perceive as rude, or you don't want to pry, or you want to be nice and all those sorts of things. But when somebody's sharing this pain point, allow them to share fully. And one of the things is practice this literally on every time when you're talking with a client, even try it with your family, is when somebody's done talking, count for 2 seconds in your mind. 1,000, 1,000. Here's the thing. You'll be amazed at how many times people continue to talk and tell you their problem. And they give you more insight. They open up more layers of the onion. And it really, at a certain point, especially if you've discussed how you can help them, it kind of transforms into them what we would call taking ownership. They start to see how our product, how our service can alleviate their situation, and they go, yeah, I could see how that would work. And then they continue to spiral in terms of talking about, oh, okay, yeah. Just one thing is, do your best not to interrupt when somebody is really talking about it. And if they pause, you pause as well. Like Jimmy was talking about a moment ago, that pregnant pause. If you count to 2, and I would love to hear like feedback on this. People who try this. If you count to 2, it's amazing how many people will continue to talk. Like they'll pause and they'll go, well, and this and this and this and this. So yeah,
let me add. I'm going to jump right in there on the pregnant pause thing. Think about it. Put yourself in this position, right? I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to think about your reaction when you ask somebody a question and they start coming at you right away with a solution. Mary asked me, "Hey, what do you want for dinner?" Blah, 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 blah. I just come at her, right? What's her thought as if I stop? 1,001, 1,002. Good question. That pause means you're thinking. This is human psychology 101. The pause means stimulus response, right? Simple human psychology. That pause means you're thinking. The next thing you say is going to carry 10 times the weight than the thing that when you just roll with it.